All right, these are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Caparoni. The 2021 Iraqi budget was voted on and approved today. They have recessed to April 10th. The Minister of Finance stated today that the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar will stay at 1460. In the future, a full float is possible. Of course, a float will eventually occur. That is how monetary policy really works. There is no random acts. As Iraq's economy grows and more investment comes into the country, it'll create inflationary pressure. Flotation is the answer to counter that pressure. Mark Z via PDK. Question, anything new on the rate we will get for the dong? Answer, I've been told street rate will be about 47 cents, be allowed to float up, and while the contract rate we should get will be in the low $2.25 range or so. All right, Pimpy said we know that some countries are holding on to large amounts of IQD that I can validate. I can tell you that's for reals. 72% of the money is accounted for and not sitting in the hands of speculators, not sitting in the hand of the corrupt people. People were like, if you go to reinstate, they printed way too much money. There's no way they can afford that. Well, you're assuming that all the money is in the hands of speculators out in the public. I'm saying it's not. It's in the hands most of the banks. All right, Pimpy continued as they start accounting for where the dinars are. They're doing that right now. You can understand the difference between trying to reinstate a rate where 85% of your currency might come back at you all at one time at a rate of $3 per dinar. That would kill an entire economy. If you remember the articles when Al-Kazimi was like, where is our dinar? There was very little in the country. They started investigating further and they started taking this money back. I can tell you that's a good portion of this money is being recovered, but there's still a little too much out there for them to reinstate a rate. This is just speculation on my part based on the tidbits of information that we get when we speak to people who are currency movers. All right, Frank 26, all I know is this blessing is coming. I have no doubt, none whatsoever. I fear when it becomes 1-to-1, when they reach that date that I believe is solid. I don't know the date, but when they reach that point of 1-to-1 in country and out of country, I think there will still be people complaining. It's called less than 1%. They'll still be complaining, not that they have a 1-to-1 rate with the currency they invested in, but they're now saying, how long is it going to take for the rate to grow internationally? Are you serious? You already got a 1-to-1 rate. We'd like a 2-to-1 and a 3-to-1 and a 4-to-1 rate. You gluttony, that's not cool. All right, Jeff says anyone who puts their primary focus on the budget fell right into their trap and was played for a fool. Article quote, Parliament votes on the 2021 budget bill in full. Remember, I told you the rate wasn't going to change. I was going to stay exactly where it's at. Article quote, Parliament votes on the first article in fixing the dollar exchange rate. They've adopted the exchange rate of $14.50 per dollar. Article quote, the House of Representatives decided in its meeting held today, Wednesday, to convert the federal budget for 2021 from dollar to the Iraqi dinar. That's a stability step. That's good, but they have no intentions of changing the rate anytime soon. Mark Z via PDK. The budget did pass. It was not a cruel joke. What does that mean, though? What I am hearing from Iraq is, yes, they are changing values in country. They will float. I am hearing it will be similar to Kuwait. I hear it will be somewhere in the next 2 to 10 days or so before we see the manifestation of it. This is not unusual. In Kuwait, it took 10 days from this point for it to reach the people on the outside of the country. We need to stay calm as we get through this final short bit. Again, once the process started in Kuwait, it took them 10 days to release it to the world. I believe the process has started in Iraq. This is big news. There is nothing to worry about. Things are moving forward quickly. I believe the linchpin has been pulled at this point. I'm expecting a huge weekend right now. All right, Breitling, you need to be prepared. Taxes are going up. They're about to skyrocket. It's everybody who has made $200,000 and up. Most of you are going to cover that when the dinar revalues. Militiaman article quotes, Iraq is implementing its reform plans towards fiscal and monetary policy. His governor participated as a representative of Iraq in the spring meetings of International Monetary Fund. unquote. All right, sounds good to me, but we knew this already. They have been working to complete now for a long time and have finally got where we need to be or where they are to be. Just like we have been told that they are having meetings and they're going, well, now it is showtime. Mark Z, via PDK, the budget was passed. A specific new rate was not given, but there are a lot of key contracts that require larger rates. They did peg their oil in the budget at $44. This appears to have been the final hurdle as we move forward to allow Iraq currency to float and change. All right, and from Claire, article quote, Iraq is implementing its reform plans towards fiscal and monetary policy. Frank told us they would be speaking next. The CBI, we were seeing exactly what the guru's walking stick and Frank told us, in my opinion. It is now be ready, in my opinion. All right, Bob the Taxman question. I've been a Warka bank account holder since 2010. There's been complete silence in respect to getting passwords reset. Do you have anything on that? All right, Bob says, I have a contact over there at Warka. We've been working with it for over a year, who's the manager at one of the branches. He's actually a representative between Warka and the CBI. Originally, they were supposed to be popping out the links and connections with their international clients after the first of the year, but because of oil prices and COVID and the mess that they've still been dealing with, it got postponed. I heard from him just a couple of days ago. They're still waiting on the final word from the CBI that all connections are ready to go. They didn't have an estimated time for it, but I know it's on the plate coming up. I'm pretty sure this thing in April is going to open up a lot of space. We'll have a lot more clarity at that time.